Welcome to Drafting Out Loud, where we're going to follow up on our DraftKings Market Movers video with a DraftKings draft. It just opened up, and we have pick number 10. Pick number 10. So, was really hoping to get picks 1 through 4, really, or 1 through 5, just because I am underweight on those receivers in that area. You can always like pick 1 or 2, right? So one of the first 5 picks, but unfortunately didn't get them. We're back on the back half of the draft with pick 11, where we are. I think we've been there a lot because we're overweight CeeDee Lamb, we're overweight James Cook, we're overweight Ashton Jeanty, we're overweight Saquon Barkley, as we've just been doing combos with him a lot. Um, so we find ourselves in a similar position again. Let's see what we can do here. This time, we have our risers here, and we have our values here. CeeDee Lamb is a value, though. I guess that's why it's not why we've been targeting him. It's the first round. I'm trying to be relatively flat in the first round. That being said, it's hard to be flat when you just find yourself in the same spot in the draft every single time. We do have our values also queued up here based on rank. These are our values and our risers. You can see that Jonathan Taylor is one of them and CeeDee Lamb is another one here in the first round. And then after that, we have Hampton and Love. These two are values. They are not risers. While Rice is a riser, but like we said, Rice is starting to plateau a little bit. Right, values. We got Hampton here as a value. We have, let's see if we can find him on here. Is he not a, is he a riser? There. Oh, Love is a riser. Okay, he's rising up a bit. So there you go. And then Rice is a riser, but he's kind of tailed off, like we said. He's actually down over the last 2 days. So maybe he's gonna like settle in on that like round 20 or so. Who knows? We'll find out. I thought he'd go higher than that personally. Let's get to the board here and see what we got going on. First guy's taking his time. Takes oh, Robinson and Gibbs, first 2 picks off the board. Standard. It's very standard. It'll be then, oh, JSN. So darn it. See, that's where you want to have a Jamar Chase. Let's see if we get a falling Puka. The chance of that happening now are slim, but let's see if we get a falling Puka. We got a chance. We definitely want Amon-Ra or Justin Jefferson before CeeDee Lamb, just because we're lower owned on these guys versus CeeDee Lamb. We'll see what happens here, though. Trey McBride goes. Okay. Darn, there goes Puka. We are going to get one of these guys, though, so someone else is going a little funky, giving us a chance to get something a little different. You're kind of rooting for the fall of Jonathan Taylor, not because you like him more, but just because you get a little more unique, possibly. It doesn't happen. We're going to start with Justin Jefferson here. Maybe we'll try to target one of our values we highlighted in Addison as well and try to go hardcore Minnesota here. If we can get CeeDee Lamb, we'll do that. There are 2 people ahead of us, though. We don't have any James Cook with Justin Jefferson, so we'd consider that as well if we could get him. Okay. We're going to do it because it's not often that can happen. Glad we didn't have to click on Achane personally. So let's just go Cook. So the nice thing about this is we do have a one running back at least in the first 2 rounds, which means we're not going to hopefully get just shut out at running back, or we won't get shut out running back. We don't have to be as panicked with running back moving forward. That being said, I found plenty of times where I do like a hero build like this, not because I wanted to go hero, but because that's just the way the draft board fell, and then you find yourself in a really ugly spot later on. Puka Rice. Rice getting pulled up. His ADP here is 20, getting pulled up to 18 in this draft. McBride, Hampton. Okay. So like two second rounders. Not bad. Not sure what the correlation is there, why you chose that. In fact, Bowers Hampton would be a more interesting click at this point in time, right? Because Bowers is a bring back. Las Vegas is a bring back on the Chargers potentially. While um, I'm not sure what the full schedule is, so I couldn't tell you, but we know that Bowers and Hampton are going to play each other twice. So if you were to ask me what I'd be doing that. If I want to do something like what's happening here in this draft. I don't mind it. Like I don't have the balls to do it half the time. So I like that he does. ETN getting pulled up to the second round. He's falling a little bit actually. He's on our fallers list, going here at like pick 31 or something like that. 30, 31. Let's take a look at our fallers list. Is he on the fallers list? Or maybe he's not. Thought he was. Maybe it was for underdog that he's on the fallers list. Probably for underdog that he's on the fallers list. Get him kind of confused. You see so many numbers. There goes Allen. An Allen fall would have been nice to pair with Cook, but that's even harder on DraftKings because Allen goes earlier on DraftKings. Then Olave. Okay. Kind of standard. Well, London. Oh no, London is still there. Let's see if we can get a. Not going to happen, but it'd be sweet if it did. Based on our ranks, we have. Come on. Brees Hall is a value. So that's someone that we can target to get. And that makes sense because the Jets do play Buffalo. So that's someone we'll target with our 34th pick, unless we get like a really cool value with it, like a ADP value with it. Looks like it's not going to happen though. AJ Brown could go to New England. That's what's expected. So I think AJ Brown is also a good like correlated pick. Josh Jacobs could be a bring back on Justin Jefferson also. So that could work too. We got a couple different options here. I think there's a there goes AJ Brown. I think there's a chance that AJ Brown, like buzz with AJ Brown, gets higher as well. Like he starts to continue to rise. So he's someone that you probably want to grab now before he gets more expensive. And then here are the two Jets and Wilson and Brees. We're going to target one of them. Let's see what these guys got. So three running backs, one wide receiver. We're going to go, assume he's available. We're going to go Brees Hall here with this pick. Okay, he just took another receiver. Was Brees Hall? No, they got three running back. No, we're going to go Wilson because they've already got three running backs out of their four picks. I think there's a better chance that Brees Hall makes it back to us. So we'll take Garrett Wilson, and then we'll take Brees Hall if he makes it to us. Let's hope he does. There's a good chance. This guy's already got 3 running backs. There we go. We did it. Loveland's also an interesting pick there. That would work with our Minnesota thing. We won't do it here though because of we got one of our players on the value list. There we go. Brees Hall. Let's pull that up here. Pull that up here. Boom. Let's look at our values. We can see Brees Hall is our 4th value on the list here. So we got our first person from the first player on the list. Looking good as far as that goes. We do have 2 Jets and a Buffalo Bill, so some potential correlation there, depending on what goes down when the schedule gets released. I like it. Looks like I've done the Loveland Jefferson thing before also. I've also done the Jefferson Addison thing before too. So we'll see what happens in this one. Addison, I think, where's Addison going these days? Or sorry, not Addison, Murray, 106. Okay. Next players on our ranked list, we got Williams, Jameson Williams. He is a value. And then we got Henderson, who's a value. We're hoping Henderson makes it to us. That would require a fall, but we've had people falling in this one a little bit. I don't know if we've really had a chance to really take advantage of it. Let's see where London went because he had a nice look at that. Chase Neighbors London. And then he gets a falling Javonte Williams as well. Javonte Williams is a bring back on Neighbors and on the Giants. He's got an interesting, he's got Chase Neighbors is not unique, but then the London, of course, makes it unique. A super falling Loveland. Loveland is usually going over here on these teams. It looks like the 2 tight ends were kind of in the middle here, so you knew that if Loveland made it past myself and then these 2 guys here, that he was going to fall to the back half most likely. And so that's what happened with that. There goes Tootin. Based on rank, we're not going Burrow, we're not going Thomas. So these are the only 2 players we have based on our, risers and value picks. Again, both these are value picks. I think Jameson Williams is like the last of the value picks, essentially. Let's take a look. Well, we got a moment. Yeah, Jameson Williams, 10% value on DraftKings. Maybe it makes sense. Doesn't make sense. Yeah, he's not really like a PPR guy, right? So you'd expect him to be maybe a little bit lower on DraftKings than on Underdog. And then TreVeyon Henderson almost off the list again, towards the bottom of the list again. They're both still available. There's a chance. Evans and Waddle. We got Waddle just went. I mean, it's hard to pass up on Evans if he makes it to us. Right? Like Evans at 46 is an even better value than both them. Did Devonta Smith get drafted already in this one? He did. Okay. Where'd he go? Okay, 41. Yeah. That makes sense. Oh, there goes Evans. Darn. We do have a decent amount of Evans later on. Ooh, this is tough. You took Terry McLaurin. We already have the Brees Hall thing with Henderson. I think Jamison Williams is the way to go here. See if we can push another running back through. They're both values. So it was kind of like, I think I got a lot more Trevion Henderson on this site. So if he goes all the way through, we'll be happy. If he doesn't, oh well. We do have two more NFC North targets here, Odunze and Watson also. I think Caleb got drafted. He did get drafted. There goes Odunze. It would be fun if Henderson fell to us. If he doesn't get drafted right here with this pick, there's a chance that Henderson falls to us at 63 because this guy's already got three running backs. He passed on him once for Parker Washington. Passed on him again. Wow. There we go. That is what we want. Okay. This is looking to be good so far. We got bringbacks across the board. We're balanced with three running backs and three, yeah, three running backs, three wide receivers. All we need is a falling Drake May to us, maybe. That'd be sweet. Right? Get him to be part of the whole bring back with what we got going on here. Chances of that happening are slim, but we can always hope. Yeah, that was a no, we got a decent amount of Jamison Williams. We're overweight on all these players, actually, to tell you the truth. We have Henderson on 25% of our teams now after getting him there. Drake May is slightly insulated by Joe Burrow, but there's a lot of picks left. There's also Daniels and Hurts, so there's other people, other QBs that people might want more. So if we could get a falling Drake May, that would be great. If we can't get a falling Drake May, maybe this is a draft where we do later on go after um what's his face? Willis, just to get the bring back with the Miami quarterback. Not the most exciting, and we don't have much Willis at all. There goes Joe Burrow to the non-Chase. Wow, the Chase drafter was one pick away from getting Joe Burrow. Instead, it's a naked Joe Burrow instead. Unfortunate for the Chase drafter. It's harder to get Burrow with Chase on DraftKings just based on ADPs and quarterbacks just going higher in general on DraftKings. One pick away from having that work out. I guess if you have someone here that doesn't really care about, stacking and stuff like that, you'd rather them steal someone else's quarterback versus your quarterback that you want. So that's good. You're hoping this guy here maybe is a little bit more strategic and he's waiting for his stacks. Whatever that means. Like, for example, Dart, he's maybe thinking Dart here at 76 or 83, definitely 93 if he made it to 93. But is Dart even in the 90s? 87, right? So you are risking it if you push it through. Based on our ranks, we only have one player left really in Prescott and then Riley Leonard, which we don't want Riley Leonard. And we don't want Dak Prescott either. Chris Godwin's going to much earlier. Again, Godwin goes earlier on this one. Addison goes earlier on Underdog. I think they're both good picks. Look at all these QBs right here. I mean, it's hard to pass up on either of these two QBs if they make it to us. I'm not looking, I'm only looking at QBs. That's why it looks that way. But still, there's a bunch of QBs that are early right there. We could go, if these don't make it to us, we're talking maybe Makai Lemon, Tucker Kraft, Addison, wherever he's at. He's a little bit lower. They're at 97. We could, it's tough to get him at 106. So we go like Addison at 87 and then hope that Kyler Murray falls to us there. So he did go Jackson Dart, like we were saying. This AJ Brown drafter is the one that maybe we're worried about as far as Drake May goes. Of course, he's the highest ADP, so anyone could just grab him as well. I think these are the guys again that we're not going to go Stevenson. We have Trevion Henderson. He went Daniels. This is the big one we got to dodge here for Drake May. He went Wand. Is that? Yeah, he went Wandale. So really, he's got a QB. He shouldn't take him. He didn't. These two don't have QBs yet, so they could easily just take a naked Drake May. Let's hope it doesn't happen. Tucker Kraft is also an option for another NFC North pick. These guys have shown the ability to just pass up on guys that are, and even New England guys, but he's getting low. Okay, Jalen Hurts. That's unfortunate because now that means that we have only one QB left to get from, and he took him. Darn. So the question is, do we go Lemon or do we go Tucker Kraft? I think we go Tucker Kraft. To continue our thing. If Lemon makes it back, we'll definitely take him at 87. If he doesn't, then we gotta. Okay, he made it back, so we're taking him. Makai Lemon at 87. I think we did pass up on Jordan Tyson in a draft to take Addison at this point, if I'm not mistaken, in another one. We do have enough stacking guys in both Detroit and Green Bay to where and the Jets as well. Detroit, Green Bay, Minnesota, and the Jets that we don't need to take Addison. We don't need to take Addison instead. So that's why it was so much easier to go and take Makai Lemon here. We've still a ton of stacks. But I want to say Addison's even going later, right, than Makai Lemon, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, not Addison, sorry. Tyson's going later. Tyson, 84. Lemon, 73. Yeah, so we didn't pass up this time and we got a better ADP value as well. Lawrence, whenever I try to let Lawrence get to me on the second back half of the draft, it never happens. It'd have been nice if we got May and Lemon instead or May and Kraft instead, but that's okay. It is what it is. The Miami quarterback at 130, right? Like he's not rising anymore. And he's close to 130. He's a target at 130, definitely. That being said, we have multiple QB targets at this next turn as well. Right? We got Jared Goff to go with. No, we don't have a Detroit guy yet. So we got Kyler Murray, we got Jordan Love. Jared Goff, maybe, depending on if tight end comes back around in um not that I want to do it, but or did he already get drafted? Did Laporta get drafted? He did. Okay. So we'll just remove Jared Goff from the list. Oh no, We have Jameson Williams. Okay, let's put him back on the list. I think grabbing two QBs here makes sense as opposed to waiting for another one. We have a nice central an NFC North thing going on, Minnesota, Detroit, Green Bay. We missed out on Chicago, and there really aren't any good Chicago picks left except for like Monangai, which I'm not sure if he was drafted yet or not. Not that he's someone that I'm targeting. It's hard to get Monangai and our quarterbacks as well, and I think our quarterbacks are more important here than any of these other picks. Jaden Reed going up the boards there. Addison is still available too. Gosh. Do either of these guys have a QB yet? This guy's got two QBs. So assuming there's a couple QBs left, I don't think we need to risk losing all the QBs. It's hard to pass on Addison to get two stacks. One of our stacks is gone in Goff. We really hope that Addison and two QBs are left. That's what we would like to see. If that doesn't happen, it puts us in a really awkward position. If we want one of the players to go, it's probably Addison. That way we have the two QBs. That's unfortunate. Another QB goes. We want to. Okay, Patrick Mahomes is still available too. Addison went. Okay. This has happened before where you pass on Patrick Mahomes here to take your stack. I'm going to do it again. I don't think we need to get a naked Patrick Mahomes. And he just got taken good. That makes it much easier. Purdy here is nice. There's a lot of other players that are possibility. We're going to just take our stack and Kyler Murray and then figure out the next pick. I feel like Kyler Murray's one. There goes Brock Purdy. Kind of expected him to take a QB at some point in time, and he did. Do we do Jordan Love? I was gonna say, or Kyle Monangai. He just went, so we're not doing that. Okay, good. I'm glad like Corn went. Those were like the other players that we could kind of consider a little bit. They're gone. We're just gonna take Jordan Love to get two QBs out of the way. That stack and our bringbacks. We can't get Wicks as a late round stack anymore with Love, though, which is unfortunate. Just unfortunate because it's fun to stack your player. It's beneficial in general to stack the player. At least most people think so. Bo Nix at 113 is crazy. Was that a stack or not? Let's see. No, it wasn't. The Addison pick at 104, that's nice. We almost got him at 106. And we would have gone Addison and then Murray, and then we'd be hoping for the Miami quarterback here at 130. I think if the Miami quarterback gets to us at 130, we still, or do we, no, we don't do it now because we're going to hope for like Geno Smith. And if we don't get Geno Smith, maybe at the very end of the draft, we take like Ty Simpson or something like that. There's some rumors, like there's some people are predicting that he goes to the Jets, and so we could take him with the super late pick. That would be the other option for us. We are overweight now on Kyler Murray, and it's kind of unfortunate because we weren't like super targeting him earlier in when he was at his best value. So like shame on us for that one. And now we're overweight, and he's just not someone that you always like overdraft and then you pay the price, right? So we're gonna be paying the price again this year. Quarterbacks are falling. Baker Mayfield to 121. Where does Geno goes at 168? Could Geno fall to 180? 78. If he does, we're taking Geno at like 178, 183. We're going to pass on Malik Willis here, most likely, assuming, because we don't need four quarterbacks. And I'd rather get the Jets stack, considering we have their top two players right now. There's probably other things we can get here that would be nice. Oh, there, okay, we don't have to worry about it. Willis goes. Good. So that makes our decision easier. We don't have to regret it. Oh, we do have one tight end in Tucker Kraft stacked. There goes Conception. We're going to pass on the tight ends here just because there's other tight ends we might want later on. Not a fan of Gainwell, but if they fell to us, we'd have to kind of just take it. Buffalo would continue, would correlate. I'm not really taking Shakir much. Mason's still available here. And then Aaron Jones, which I like even more right there. Those are three of our public targets for this. Omar Cooper Jr. Oh, hold on. Oh, we were on, that's why we couldn't see other values early because we were only on quarterbacks. So we do have some other values here. Coleman, Cooper Jr. Cooper does go in the 30s on underdog. We don't take much Khalil Shakir. We took him a decent amount at first, and then the news of what was going on with him kind of slowed us down with him. I think maybe it makes sense if we can, just based on us already having Buffalo Bill, we got that whole division kind of stacked some. So we're going to take Shakir. Jones better make it back to us because that's the one we really want too. Good, he got a QB. Actually, probably bad. We'd like the QBs to stay on the board so that we can push Geno Smith around some more. This guy only does have two running backs. There are some running backs insulating us. Okay, Jonathan Brooks, pulling him up. A high upside pick. Tyrone Tracy. Maybe a high upside pick if the Giants don't get Love and they don't, and Scadaboo's still hurt. We're going Jones here. It helps with our stack. I think he's a great value at 135. I think Ferguson's a great pick for anyone. That's his third tight end, though. Is unstacked? Third tight end. That's a little crazy. What's also crazy is where did Purdy went right here? He he passed on, he drafted Kittle at 88 and then passed on Purdy. That's kind of crazy right there. He passed on my guy Henderson, but then took Drake May, right? Like he's doing things a little. He passed on. No, he didn't. Daniels never got to him at 81, but that'd be crazy for Daniels. He took McLaurin here, passed on Marvin Harris, or passed on Daniels there. You could argue he's doing things a little bit backwards, possibly. He took Harrison instead of Joe Burrow. Like, yeah, I'm not sure kind of what his strategy is. We're still overweight Khalil Shakir on underdog. I don't think I've clicked him in forever. Clicked him too many times at the beginning is what happened, I think. We are super overweight on Aaron Jones in both platforms. We are making a big bet that Minnesota running backs are viable. Based on rank, Coleman and Cooper and Boston are all players we'd consider in our next pick. Some other players we'd consider as well. We could go running back. We could go anything. Where does TJ Hawkinson go? 166. So Hawkinson, we either get him here at 159 or we probably don't get him. That being said, these two don't have any tight end. This one tight end is zero tight ends. So if we go all the way in 2-2, so what's tough is that if we pass on Hawkinson here, then it's hard to get Hawkinson and Geno Smith here because I don't see a whole lot of. Okay, this guy has stress. So this guy probably doesn't take Geno Smith. This guy, though, could all day long take Geno Smith. We don't know. Where's Geno? What's his 168? Who do we want more? Geno Smith or Hawkinson? That's maybe the question. I think maybe it's Geno Smith, considering we already have um, two Minnesota Vikings. And I think based on what's going down here at tight end, maybe there's a better chance. Let's see that this guy takes the tight end. Let's hope he does. If he takes the tight end, then there's a better chance that he did. Excellent. There's a better chance that maybe Hawkinson makes his all the way back to us versus Geno Smith. Because this guy's only got one QB. Let's see if this guy gets a tight end too. Take a tight end. Help us out. Oh, he didn't. He took Omar. That's one of the guys that we would have wanted. Darn. White's still available, way past ADP as well. White, Coleman, Boston. 4 and 4 for running backs, 5 and 6 for wide receivers. Very heavy running back, very heavy wide receiver. It's a toss up of which one we want to get to a certain extent. Boston probably doesn't get drafted by this is tough. Um, let's just go the pass catcher and White. Coleman's falling down boards more. There's a good chance that Rachaad White does end up. Oh gosh. So we might pass on both Geno Smith and TJ Hawkinson. Do we do that to get David Boston? That's the question. This guy still only has one tight end. So he just took his second tight end. That's a little unfortunate. Oh, wow. This is tough. We don't need either of those players. Let's go for the high upside of David Boston, who could be a first round pick. And let's hope that we have some people fall to us. There is still Cam Ward still on the board. Hawkinson is the next tight end, so whatever. I keep on saying David Boston. It's not David Boston. Denzel Boston. We're taking Denzel Boston because he's got the potential draft capital of a first round pick. Not super confident in Geno Smith making it through the season based on if like they draft Ty Simpson early. So we do have like one more quarterback target later on. And then Hawkinson's a nice tight end to grab, but I don't think I don't know. With Kyler Murray as the quarterback, I don't know how much we should be thrilled to get Hawkinson on our team. But if we can, we'll be very happy to get him well past ADP all day long. There goes Coleman. We still have Wicks is still out there, right? But he's gonna be out there for a bit. Malik Washington would be a player we'd consider just as a continue that whole division thing, but we're not like thrilled to get it. We don't, it's not a priority at all. Mitchell and Hunter are falling. Those are players we'd consider if our stacking partners aren't available. Vidal gets drafted before Keaton Mitchell. That's where Vidal's going earlier than that, even though before they signed Mitchell, and now Vidal's fallen all the way to like the 200s. There goes Keaton Mitchell. Did he get both of them? Was that the end or no? No, they just went Vidal Mitchell, and now we're at the end. You hope this guy's not going like tight end because he's got Ward there as one of his QBs. He could, and then Young. Those are two QBs he could get backstack tight ends with. So there's still a chance that one or both of these guys fall to us. Although our three biggest targets are the three earliest people on the board. Precarious is what that is. And if we get Geno Smith, we could also do a Mason Taylor thing as one of our tight ends. We do need tight ends. We do need running backs. We do need wide receivers. So what do we lose? Hunter. Okay. I'm not sure who we take if those guys. These they both have two quarterbacks. He has two tight ends. He has zero tight ends. That's tough. I think we'll take Hawkinson first if he makes it to us. If he doesn't make it to us, I don't know what to do here. Really, these guys both have two tight ends. This one's got three, so if we can avoid him with these. He's got Bowers, he's got Warren. They really shouldn't be focusing on a third tight end. This guy's got two Drake May and Mahomes. He should not be focusing on another QB. Okay, there we go. It paid off again. Let's see if we can get lucky with Geno. If we can't get Geno, then oh, that's going to be tough. He got a Mitchell. He could be going for the Mitchell Geno stack. He does have two early QBs though. Don't do it. He didn't. He got Kate on. You don't need a QB either. He doesn't. Okay. Geno Smith, come on down. This is looking good. There goes some fun running backs, though. They're going a little earlier than they used to. And then 180, I guess 180s. It's not too late. We do have an auto drafter now. I don't know if he's just taking best available or what. Mason Taylor as a target as our third tight end, or Eli Stowers if Mason Taylor goes. And then we'll have like one more running back, two more wide receivers for our traditional 3-6-8-3. Who's best available? So let's see what this auto drafter has. Hopefully he's only got two tight ends. Okay, so we don't want them to take tight ends because we need Eli Stowers available for this guy. Oh, Mason Taylor goes. Okay, he's not going off of ADP. We do have two tight ends, and we don't need a third tight end with Kraft and Hawkinson. We don't need one. It would have been fun to get Mason Taylor though, just because it would have stacked up nicely. The auto drafter must have some interesting ranks going on, is what he's got going on over there. Uh, oh, there goes Stowers, darn. Allen's available if we want like the handcuff. Davis is available if we'd want the handcuff. There aren't many interesting running backs at this point in time, so grabbing a late handcuff running back isn't a bad idea. We could get a Miami running back also, like Ollie Gordon or Wright with our last pick, if we want to do like a last pick running back, that would work as well. I think Wicks, just because he's rising up the boards, he's going to continue rising up the boards. I think Wicks makes the most sense as our next target if he makes it to us. Not that there's any correlation, but he could be the number two wide receiver on Philadelphia, and he's shown some skills as far as just route running, getting open, that kind of stuff. What happens if he gets a much larger role? And say he gets an opportunity, but he's had an opportunity. This guy's definitely got some. Oh, there goes Wicks, darn. Couldn't get him. Now we just got like uninspiring picks left. Ferguson and Freiermuth are interesting tight ends. Breece Hall could get traded still. Eight and six, 5 and 5. Think something like that. Not a huge fan of Allen, but the only other option is a Miami guy. Let's just go Allen. Oh, there goes Ferguson. I was hoping that Ferguson and Freiermuth would be available. That we'd have like get David Njoku before you get. Oh, that hurts. Oh, both the guys we wanted. Okay, do we just go and say get Njoku and hope for a landing spot, and then he rises up the boards. Then we finish off with two wide receivers at the end. Let's do it. Wow. So neither of these guys went running back. I guess if I think about it, maybe getting the tight end here, knowing that if we don't get Allen, we can get one of the Miami guys later, maybe made more sense a little bit. We knew this guy needed tight ends. He only had one. It was late. Maybe just a slight little tactical error by us. Not a big one. Not a big one at all. In fact, like Njoku could go to Miami, and then we're happy that we did that because then we got the bring back. So in some ways, maybe it's better for us this way. Who knows? Uh, we definitely need two wide receivers because we do have two rookies out of our six wide receivers. Um, Pat Bryant is definitely number one on our list. I like a falling Pat Bryant if we can make that happen. Hollywood Brown, just like a veteran presence that's going to get work, I think is nice for us to get with this pick, considering we have two rookies. I don't draft Cooper Kupp at all, but I don't know. Cooper Kupp. We could grab Ty Felton for another Minnesota guy, but we don't need another Minnesota guy on this team, so I'd prefer not to do that. Tolbert would be a Miami guy. I'll bring back. We have Keenan Allen, if he signed, would be a fun pick here. Like it would actually make sense on this team. And I don't draft him at all. Marvin Mims has fallen like mad. We got two AFK, two autos now. Both the autos have eight wide receivers though. But these guys got six, seven, six, six. So the chances of getting this guy's got eight too. Chances of getting Pat Bryant to fall are a little slimmer, but sillier things have happened. Tolbert went. Penix went. There goes Sanders. We have three tight ends now, though, so we don't care about that. Elijah Surratt goes. We don't want the rookie. Gesicki goes. So really, we need to dodge these two guys right here. Did one of these guys get Bo Nix? Yeah, this guy got Bo Nix. So the chances of us getting, but I don't think he's. This is the guy that's been doing things all funny though too. I think right. So be funny one more time. He wasn't funny one more time. Okay, we haven't done it much, but we're gonna take Cooper Kupp here. I don't like it, but we're gonna do it. Did this guy go? Neither of those. No. We've. I think this might be like our one of our first shares of Kupp. Yeah. There we go. Oh, Hollywood Broncos, darn. I don't really want to go rookie with another one, but do we go rookie with another one? Because there's a chance Keenan Allen just doesn't play him. I just looked. I was trying to look up something about him, couldn't find anything. He's the one with the rookie. He didn't want the rookie. Okay, let's get the rookie in the last round. He goes much earlier than that, oftentimes, right? 219. I mean, these are getting to all dollar players, doesn't matter a whole lot. But he's usually going in the 18th round these days, not the 20th round. Chance Keenan Allen doesn't play. Let's get Bernard. See what happens. We got our vegetables with Cooper Cup. Okay. Overall, a really nice draft. We pushed players to try to get more value out of them and get a more interesting team with it. And a lot of our pushes worked out for us. We have a Kyler Murray stacked with Justin Jefferson and also stacked with Aaron Jones and stacked with TJ Hawkinson falling right there, which is nice. I think Aaron Jones is a great value. So that's nice there. Then we got Jordan Love stacked with Tucker Kraft and only Tucker Kraft. We could have even passed on Allen, knowing that we could get one of the Green Bay running backs later as well. So that could have been an option too. That wouldn't be a bad one considering we only have one Packer on our team. But I think that's fine. Allen's fine. Allen is fine. Kareem Hunt with the last pick. There we go. I think was he the last pick? Or Jalen Noel last pick. Kareem Hunt second to last pick from the auto drafter. So those are we got both our quarterbacks stacked. They're also bringbacks. We also have Jameson Williams here as a bringback on Detroit. If Detroit plays either of them, no Chicago Bears. That's okay. We also then got a falling Geno Smith, pushed him basically 2 rounds past his ADP. And we have him stacked up with Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, and then also with Allen down here at the end. We did want to try to get a Mason Taylor, but Mason Taylor got taken, I think, soon after Geno Smith, right? Yep, right here. That was his third and final tight end. And then we had Stowers queued up. He got taken a couple picks after that as his third and final tight end as well. That's okay. We got Njoku instead. There's a chance that Njoku maybe goes to like Miami or something like that, and then that would be nice. That being said, I think Ferguson and Freiermuth are, I don't know, probably safer bets. They're on teams. Let's see here. Players that we got that were values on our list. We got Breece Hall was one. Jameson Williams. Let's take a look at the list while we do this, right? Let's try to be professional with this. Values. Breece Hall, 1. Jameson Williams, 2. Then did we get Trevin Henderson with our next pick? Was that right? Breece Hall, Jameson Williams, Trevin Henderson, 3. Kraft is a value on Underdog, not on DraftKings. I think we did get him slightly past ADP though, so is Lemon still a value? I think Lemon's still a value for 4, right? Lemon, 4. There we go. Kyler Murray, Love, not value. Shakir, not a value. Jones, not a value. White, not a value. Boston. Boston is just off the list, I believe now. He actually did have a number on my page. He is one below Williams in value, or he's either a riser or like one off one of these two lists. So I included him as a pick that I wanted to target, even though he wasn't on either of the lists. So there's the bonus player to target on DraftKings, right? Boston is the bonus player to target. We took him instead of Coleman because Coleman's most likely going to have like third round draft capital, what people are projecting at best. Boston has a chance to be first round draft capital. So we'll just take the draft capital there. Also, we did have three, four, five running backs already. So that's another reason why taking the wide receiver there makes more sense. And then we were thinking about taking either Hawkinson or Geno Smith with this pick, but because White and Boston fell to us, we just took them and rolled the dice that Hawkinson or Smith would fall to us. They both fell to us, and then we had to kind of roll the dice which way we'd go. We went Hawkinson first, which actually look at this really made sense because this guy had no tight ends, and this guy decided to take his third tight end, and so Hawkinson probably doesn't make his way back, and this guy did have two. They both had two QBs already, so we were hoping that at worst we get Hawkinson, miss out on Geno Smith. At best, we get both of them, and if we miss out on Geno Smith, then we take Ty Simpson with a late round pick. It could have been as late as our last round pick here, is what we would have done. And then what we would take, could have taken like a Washington for another Miami guy for the bring back with New York Jets or something like that. We could have done something like that. I don't know what we would have done exactly. We could, oh, actually, what we would have done is probably taken Brian Robinson Jr. or Emmett Johnson, one of those two, taking our last running back. I think there's more juice in these running backs than Allen. I mean, Allen was exciting kind of, but just hasn't done anything. He's been hurt. So it probably would have been one of these running backs. Well, that's what we got instead. Uh, and then we finish it off with, I think there's our first share of Cup in all of our drafts. Hopefully, you can just get us some points early on while our three rookies are trying to take hold, and Shakir maybe is trying to get healthy. We got a falling Shakir on here. We have more Shakir than we want on Underdog at probably bad prices. But at 130, I think that's a decent price there, I guess, with someone that kind of made sense for our team a little bit too. So you got to feel good about that. Let's see if there's someone else that went 3683 right here, and let's see how we did. Okay, so look at this. Rather similar overall. You can see right away. We both have a combination of running backs and wide receivers to start. I have 3 through 6 in running backs. He had 2, but then he took Warren a couple rounds later, while he just kind of got his tight end and QB just slightly earlier. Let's see here. 3, 4, 5, 6. So that he's the one that got Bijan Robinson, or not Bijan, Brian Robinson, and then he got James here too. Is James does not correlate. He's the one that took Hurts. Okay. Lucky him for getting Hurts there. Kind of maybe lucky us that we didn't get Hurts a little bit just because things worked out really well for us here. May would have been fun to get here just because we have the Henderson pick here. That being said, if we do get May, it's hard to get other wide receivers that it would have changed our entire draft. And Kraft is fine as well there too. But May would have been fun. But we're not going to complain about Kraft. Yeah, oh no, we didn't actually get Kraft at a value. We got Lemon at a huge value because I think we pulled up Kraft knowing that it kind of correlated. And then if Lemon fell to us, cool. If he didn't, whatever. And he did. Okay. Let's go back over here. So he went strong running back to start, and they just sprinkled him in throughout, which I think makes sense. And he stopped at 6. So good job there. We went slightly less strong at running back to start. We sprinkled in our first one earlier, and then we sprinkled in value later on with at least 2 of our 3 last ones. So I think we both did a good job at running back. At wide receiver, we both have 8 again. He's got 3. I love the Addison pick here for Higginson pick 137, I think is value too. Ridley pick 176 is nice. I like the Pat Bryant pick a lot, and then he's got the upside in Chris Bell. I like his wide receiver room a lot based on kind of like where he got those players. He's got Smith at 140. I like his wide receiver room a lot. That's good. That's good. That's great based on ADP. That's great based on ADP and value. This is good based on, I think based on ADP at least, second year player. This is kind of around where he's going, but some people like him more than a lot of the players around there. That's nice. Pat Bryant correlates second to last round pick. That's sweet. And then just like huge upside with Bell right there. So I really like his wide receiver room. I went 3 through 5 also. I got a falling lemon for my fourth. So I got my fourth earlier than him, but he got Addison right after. And you could say that Addison's going to be a better pick than Lemon. Could happen. I got a falling Shakir. He got, I think, a falling Higgins. They make sense for both of us. I got a falling Boston for rookie upside. He got the veteran presence. And then we both went wide receivers at the end again. Um, Cup, Bernard, Brian. I think his work correlate with this team a lot better. But you could say they correlate better, but you could say mine kind of fit what they need, which is hopefully some just points early on. Like that's all I need from Cup is maybe just some points early on. And then after that, he can hopefully everyone else kind of takes the torch from there. Last but not least, we got tight end. Both got tight. He got Warren, I got Kraft, then he got Goddard at 128. Nice pick. Stacking with Hurts is nice. I got Hawkinson at 178. Nice pick. Stacking with Murray. He's obviously got better tight ends than me overall. That being said, there's a chance that Kraft outperforms Warren and that Hawkinson outperforms Goddard. I mean, that's in the range of outcomes. And then he got Helm here, and I got Njoku here. I mean, there's a chance that he has 3 better tight ends than me. Like all 3 of his outperform mine, or like not all 3 of mine probably, but like our first, his first outperforms my first, his second outperforms my second, his third outperforms my third. There's a chance, but there's also a chance that mine outperform his as well. So, yeah. We also could have skipped on Njoku here. Like we could have skipped on Njoku, gotten like Dolchich with our last pick, if we wanted to. And then we could have gotten Pat Bryant, which I like a lot more than Cooper Kupp. And Joku's just kind of like, why is he not signed yet? Is it for the same maybe it's for the same reason as far as like the same reason that Juwan Jennings and Stephon Diggs aren't signed, possibly. I think there's some contract or draft pick stuff that goes into that possibly. So let's hope that's the case with Njoku. But I think maybe getting Pat Bryant here and then Dolchich might be better in some ways, maybe. I don't know. Flipping a coin a little bit on that one. You could go right or wrong either way. But let me know what you think. I'm really happy with this draft, right? Got some value, got a lot of correlation. Jealous of this guy's wide receivers, and I think he did a great job too with his team. If we are 2 of the top teams in this draft, I guess I probably wouldn't be surprised. Okay, let me know what you think. See you on the next one. Peace.